smiling face. Be who you wanna be. Make up the memory. It's virtual reality.
What's going on, everybody? Tyler and Sean here from Rendered Reality. This is Coffee and VR. We are joined by Mash from CES, and if you guys don't know him, he is from the Oculus Facebook group, Oculus Quest 2 Facebook group. Eric, or Mash, however we go, thank you so much for joining us, man, because we sadly are not there. We debated it. We wanted to be there with you,
We
man,
planned
but,
on it, but the world is just so crazy.
did.
We didn't know if it was going to get canceled, so we ended up not going. But I think we definitely need to try to go next year, and all of us will be there because it seemed like we missed out a lot. But he is in Vegas right now. CES just ended yesterday. He has all kinds of really cool stuff to share with us. We got some really cool videos, some pictures that he's taken. Really looking forward to that. And we got him on an old vintage TV here, so we're trying something a little different today.
I thought it looked like
I'm such an old man? Is that
No.
I swear, though, that's the TV from Fallout 4. I swear there's a TV exactly like that in Fallout 4 for some reason. I don't know why, but
it's awesome.
Yeah, we sadly wanted to be there because there's stuff there that we are getting too. You know, the Yaw 2, some headsets you got to try out. The flight sim stuff you were telling me about earlier, we'll get into.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Man, yeah, tons. We're gonna get into the PSVR2 talk too, right?
Oh yeah, big stuff.
Yeah.
And we got some big news. Me and Tyler have some big announcements, some big news we're gonna talk about later on in the show that we haven't really put out there yet. Some pretty cool stuff happening. But so Eric, tell us about the overall atmosphere and everything at CES. Tony Digital, let me grab that. I just hit us with that $25 super chat. Thank you for that.
Morning, TD.
For sure. Good morning. So let us know what the atmosphere was like there this year, because I know it's not a normal CES with all the things going on in the world, but it looked like there was still a lot of cool stuff there. Just give us your takeaway and what it's been like so far this week there.
Yeah. First, let me just say cheers and good morning, guys, for the coffee. It's hotel coffee, but I'll take it right now. It's
better than
8
nothing.
a.m. here,
You got
so
to.
I'll take it. Yeah. So yeah, just thanks for having me on the show. It's an honor to be here. You guys are the best. So yeah, I mean, CES has been great. You know, I was in the same boat. I thought about canceling when they actually canceled the last day of the show. They took the Saturday away, and then I was like, I mean, they're going to cancel this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I thought about canceling, but it was my first opportunity to go to one of these, and I'm like, I can't pass it up. So I just haven't been able to do one before. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And I was invited for media too, which was nice. So I got to see all the press conferences. So I was there Monday and Tuesday, and there was a good buildup. I mean, there was a lot of press there. There was mainly the first two press days were, you know, like big companies like Qualcomm and Canon, John Deere, you know, and I can tell you that a key word, you know, in our circle that I heard from all these companies and companies that have nothing to do with virtual reality or augmented reality is metaverse. Every one of them had metaverse somewhere in their press or you know in their speeches or in their opening statements. So you know, if you look through all the pictures I have, every piece of graphic material or something has metaverse somewhere in the title.
It's a huge word now. I mean, it's like taken over. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's not just you know. And the other thing I'll take away from it, Quest 2s were everywhere, man. Every place that's doing some type of demo that has to do anything with virtual reality or augmented reality is using the Quest 2 headset.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite thing that you've got to try so far that you got to experience there? What's your biggest takeaway?
Oh my God, that's tough to choose.
Putting you on the spot.
Probably there's three things I'll say. The Yaw 2, which I did not do the Kickstarter for, but I'm completely jealous now because I want one so bad. So I got to demo the Yaw 2, which was amazing. The XTAL headset, I got to demo that in a flight simulator, like a real cabinet flight simulator that has motion to it and everything. And then there was a haptic shirt by a company called OWO. And that, from the people that I talked to that tested a Tesla suit just the night before they tried the OWO, the shirt rivals the Tesla suit at about.
And the Tesla suit's like what, $20,000 or something insane like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So let's go ahead and get into some Y'all 2 stuff. We'll just go ahead and dive into some of the stuff that we're talking about right here. The Y'all 2, we know we've talked about this a bunch on the channel. You know, me and Tyler are both backers of this. We're both eagerly waiting for this thing to show
Very
up.
much.
And we haven't got to try it ourselves yet, but looking at some of the footage and stuff from CES, the show floor and stuff, this is some of the footage from the show. And they were interviewing people that were trying it and their takeaways and stuff. And people were really, really seeming to enjoy it. And I mean, what's not to love when you get to be in VR, get thrown all around, and you feel, you know, different forces and the G forces and stuff like that. So what was your thought on trying it? Have you had much experience with motion sim rigs? Is this one of your first sim rigs, or?
Yeah, definitely. This is my first doing anything like this in a home used motion simulator or motion rig. So yeah, this is definitely my first. And I did see there was 2 different types of motion simulators there. There was one from a company called May, M-A-Y, and that was the experience I didn't do it, but the experience I saw was extremely jerky. I mean, like people having to hold the headset on their heads. That's how like crazy and jerky it was. I was shocked when I got into the two. I did the like an epic roller coaster type thing. So I did a roller coaster experience, and I was shocked at how smooth it is. So you're getting the full range of motion that you would normally get on a roller coaster, but it's not the jerkiness that you would see in some motion rigs where you're hammered around or you're shaken in different areas. It's very smooth, but it gives you the full range of motion. That's why I loved it so much. You see in this video here, you see that smoothness. There's no shaking to, like the other ones, they shake every time they move. They shake in one direction or the other, and it's just not a good experience. Everybody I talked to that came off that other motion simulator said the same thing. They said it was cool, but it just wasn't a comfortable experience.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think you would actually want that a little bit. Like in a racing game, you want that jolt, like if somebody clips you on the side or you hit
you
something.
probably get some of that, but I think...
I think you would.
I don't think he means the initial jolt, but more of like just that unstableness, you know what I mean?
Right,
like that
right.
shake.
The smoothness of
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're going to get anything that you need to get for movement to give you the same thing. Like I didn't do the other experience they had, which was they had a flight simulator and they had somebody like in a Cessna plane and they crashed. And when they crashed, it did shake like that. So I think you'll get those things when you need to for the feedback. Sure. But the initial stuff, when it's supposed to be smooth, it's smooth. The other one, when it's supposed to be smooth, it's not smooth. There's no way. The only thing that was cool about the other one is it had 4 fans on it that were mounted, and there were fans about that large, and they were blowing on you, and it was really cool. But that's Yaw 3.
Yeah, well, actually, they did advertise the Yaw as having that because they did, and I think they've kind of dropped some of it of having a smart plug that could operate fans, but I don't know, they wouldn't be speed controlled probably or anything like that, but I know they kind of wanted to do that, but they backed off on some of it due to getting power through the USBs and the HDMI and the motion platforms and stuff like that. But did we see it maybe in the arcade? But maybe.
So you didn't do the Gatling gun one? I know the one that some of these people are trying here was like a Gatling gun, and I was really interested in the fact that they're actually controlling the seat through what looks to be a wireless connection through the Quest, because it moves based off of your controllers. Like they tilt it like this to move the Gatling gun side to side, and I'm guessing that's a connection through Bluetooth would be my guess. But I thought that was really interesting.
They had 2 chairs there, and they were running one off AirLink, and they were running one off link cable. So, and it was just a different experience of what you were doing, and it didn't have anything to do with quality wise or anything like that. It was just they were running one simulation program on one chair, and they had it, and that was farther away. So I think that's why they tried to link it instead of running the AirLink it instead of running the cable.
So this wasn't a native Quest thing they were doing on this. This is actually a PSVR experience. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I was going to say I'm very impressed if they were running a native Quest thing through here and using the controllers like that. So I thought that was neat, but it's still cool.
That's impressive they're actually using AirLink, though, because we know at conventions that can be a horrible thing to even try and do.
That's true.
Just with all the Wi-Fi and stuff and interference, that it makes it almost near impossible. But that's cool to see that it was actually working. I mean,
it seems to be working good from the videos.
Yeah, their booth was packed too. Everybody wanted to get in there, and the show was smaller this year because of COVID, so you're probably looking at about half capacity as normal. That from what everybody's telling me that I talked to, so about 50%. Of the amount of people that were there. But this booth was probably one of the busiest booths. You either had to make an appointment to try the chair, or you had to just catch it at the right time, you know, when it was slow, because
Which
that
is
was the only way you were getting
It's
out.
probably nice to have it at 50% capacity though, because everything, even though there's long wait times, it's half what they normally would be, you know, if there was everybody there. But yeah, that's
Yeah, and
awesome.
you can talk to the people in the booths too, because normally what you'd have to do is make an appointment to go to the booth to get any time, kind of time with anybody that, you know, knows anything about these things at the booth. But here, you know, with being half capacity, it was nice to be able to go talk to somebody, and they weren't like pushing you away, like, okay, I've talked to you, now you got to go, so I can talk to somebody
next
else.
person. Yeah, that's awesome. So, and then you talked about the XTAL 3, which is, this is their latest version. We've seen the XTAL 2 in the past, and this is more definitely a commercial, you know, headset. This is a very high-end, expensive. You talked about using the flight simulator stuff, and a lot of this is used for different training purposes and actual training for flight and stuff like that. So, what I mean, I've never used this myself, but the field of view is supposed to be really incredible. The visuals are supposed to be incredible. And I'm guessing even more impressive in this XTAL 3 compared to the previous versions.
Yeah, I was shocked. I had never tried, you know, I tried a Pimax at one point, but I've never tried the XTAL. I came away with a couple of things. Like, the field of view is amazing, 180 degrees.
Yeah.
There's no bending. If you guys have tried the Pimax, I'm sure, or some type of headset like that. Yeah. So you know, it has a tendency to roll around the edges a little bit, and there's no roll here. There's no, you don't get that at all where you when you catch the edges of it. It's completely smooth. The transitions are great. 180 degree field of view. I mean, it's crazy, man. 90 degree vertical too, which is, you know, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I came away with like how comfortable the headset is, because it looks like a monster. I mean, it's huge when you pick it up. I mean, it looks bigger than the Pimax to me. And you think it's going to be hugely front heavy, but the lenses they use, and they actually design their own lenses. These guys make, you know, XTAL makes their own lenses, because there's no lenses out there that will do what they want to do. So they're like, well, we got to go out and produce these things. So they actually went out and made these lenses, and they don't use Fresnel lenses. So it keeps the weight down in the front of the headset, because it looks like it would be just a front heavy monster, and it's not. It's completely comfortable. I tested it for a little while, and you know who also tested it was Skiva from Between Realities. Tested it, and he's like, I'm in a headset 10, 12 hours a day with work. He's like, I could completely wear this thing for that time, and he didn't have any problems.
That's impressive, because I know when I seen some of the images and the videos and stuff of people wearing it, I was like, man, that thing's a tank. Like, it just looks so big, you know. But that's good to hear that it doesn't feel that heavy. That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's super well balanced too, because it looks so front heavy. You're like, oh my god, this is going to be like pulling your head down, and it's just not. It's amazing. I was shocked when I put it on.
Yeah, I mean, did they release what the price is going to be on this?
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I don't know what the price was. I thought it wasn't crazy like it used to be.
They didn't give me an exact price. People were talking, and I think it was was like in the 5,000 range.
That's what I thought.
It's still not. It's not consumer.
No.
I did talk to the president of their company, and they are definitely going to be more focused towards the consumer in the future. So I think you will see they're probably at some point here soon going to come out with a consumer headset. That's going to be way more affordable. Now, what's way more affordable? I don't know.
Right,
you know what I mean? Way more affordable could be $2,000. You know what I mean? So,
but that wouldn't be horrible. I mean, when you look at like the Pimaxes and stuff, for an 8KX, you're still pushing the 1,600 for a fully loaded one with head strap and all that. So
yeah, and you look at the people that are big time sim racers, flight sim people. I mean, these people spend big bucks anyways. They spend a lot of money. So for them, something like that wouldn't be that bad. And I mean, all the tech this thing has in it, you know, the eye tracking. So it's got gaze analysis, heat map visualization, running native 120 hertz up to 210 hertz. So, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, tech in this thing. You know, we talked about the field of view and all this stuff. I mean, I believe it has hand tracking too, right? It'll do hand tracking as well, I believe.
Yeah, they were showing it off as a mixed reality headset.
Yeah.
So basically, when you were in the cockpit, when you were in the headset, you were in this, you know, full cabinet cockpit. And you had a pilot, an actual pilot in the seat next to you in the co-pilot seat. You could see him. You could see all of the actual controls. You could see everything. You could see your hands on the steering wheel, you know, on the yoke and everything. So it was really, really cool, man. That was probably one of the for headset wise, that was like that blew me away the most. And Pimax was supposed to be there with their 12K.
Right. Yeah, they backed out. Yeah,
they backed out of the show, but they're actually here.
Oh.
They're here like off CES, and they were going to show it. Like they had a suite, they had this also the whole thing set up. All their team was here, and the 12K headsets got caught in customs, and they're not here. These guys are crushed, man. I feel so bad for them. I feel so bad.
Yeah, that's a bummer for sure.
Just another Pimax speed bump, suddenly.
Oh my God, they have no luck, right, man?
Yeah,
no luck.
Right. I know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I wanted to mention, we'll get into some more tech stuff real quick. I did want to mention that Z-Race is on App Lab now. They sent us some codes to give away. So I wanted to mention this real quick. They're trying to get on the official Oculus store. Some really cool content creator cars on there. The rendered reality car, I might be a little biased, but is one of the best looking cars on there. But I might be biased. But we do have some codes to give away, so I wanted to throw those out real quick in between, because there's going to be a lot of hardware talk, a lot of tech talk today. So I wanted to give some codes away real fast. So these are Oculus App Lab codes for the Oculus Quest. So there is the first one right there. So if somebody grabs that, and I'm going to pop up the second one real quick. That way somebody can grab that one. And I'll leave this up here for just a second on the second one. But it's pretty fun. We
sadly have to tell everybody that our headset giveaway ended. So no more of that either.
Yeah, the headset giveaway did end. We're going to do some more that shipped out this past week. He should be getting that pretty soon. And there were we posted the pictures of the package and stuff going out on Twitter and Instagram, as well as our Discord. So if you want to see that. And we always announce the winner too. A lot of people always ask, do you announce the winner? We always announce the winners, usually on our Discord, our Twitter, stuff like that. So looking forward to him getting that. We threw in a couple extras in the package like we usually do as well. So that'll be pretty cool. But I did want to talk about, you talked about the bHaptics shirt. And so this company's actually been around for a while. They've been working on this shirt for a while. They've also, I remember they were working on an app kind of like, similar to the, I can't think of the name now. What's the little clip-on Decamove? The Decamove. Oh, yeah. They were working on an app. This was back when Decamove was doing their thing with that. They were working on an app at the same time to do the same kind of a thing. I don't know if that ever came out. I never followed up with that. But this shirt is impressive. And as you mentioned before, Eric, this is something that people have said kind of rival the Tesla suit, which is a crazy expensive item. And I've seen some people post about this. I saw somebody on Twitter posted, I tried the OWO shirt and it was painful and I liked it, or something like that. And I was like, so I'm looking forward to hearing some more info about that. You know, I have the bHaptics X40. The thing about this is it looks much more breathable and a lot less, you know, it looks bulky, like it won't make you overheat as much as the bHaptics does sometimes, because that's a thick unit. So what was your takeaway on this, and have you tried the bHaptics first of all?
Yeah, I have an X16.
Okay, awesome. So you can compare a little bit of what that is like. So tell us about this, because it's interesting, and it looks like it could be a serious competitor.
Yeah, it is, and it's not just a serious competitor for bHaptics. I mean, it's a serious competitor for the Tesla suit. Yeah. Because the Tesla suit was here too, not on the show. They had a private suite where they were showing the Tesla suit, and I didn't get a chance to go. I had to do a live show, but some of the people I was with did go test it. The Tesla suit, and they did test this shirt, and they were way more blown away with this shirt because number one, the experience was better, and they said the price was better. I mean, they said both were phenomenal, but the haptics in the shirt rivaled the haptics in the Tesla suit, which is $13,000. Yeah, really expensive. This shirt, they didn't have an exact price when I was talking to them at the booth. They're saying between $400 and $500 for the shirt. It has 12 sensors that have to touch skin. So this is a little different. This is not you putting your vest over top of your clothes. So you're going to have to take your shirt off. You're going to have to put the shirt on. It's got like sticky sensors, like you would see like with if you're going to have an EKG or something like that, where they put those little sticky things on you. That's what they are. And you can see in this picture here, those are little papers that you pull off. Okay. And then you have these sticky pads underneath that are actually going to stick to your skin. And that's where you get the sensors from. And they say they're completely, re-stickable. So after you use it, you wash the shirt, which you can wash. They said you could put it in like a delicate cycle, or you could run it through like a dishwasher. They said like on a delicate cycle in a dishwasher. But they say it would re-stick. You know what I mean? It'll always be sticky. It won't dry out or anything like that. But they said they were running the haptics at like 50%. and it was almost painful in some. Like I couldn't imagine running this thing at 100%. Like it would almost hurt you. Like you could feel it in your ribs. I mean, and it's not just a rumble. This is a you guys know what a TENS machine is?
Yeah, I actually
for,
have
like,
one of those.
muscles where
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is like that. This is a stimulation of your muscles. So
it's actually sending like an electrical charge as well, not just a. Okay, man, that's actually
Yeah.
kind of cool. I mean,
Yes.
if you're playing a first-person shooter, you really want to get into it, and you want to crank that sensitivity up to
Sure.
100. You might knock you on your butt, but
And you don't have to have all those impacts and motors and stuff that take more battery and all of it.
What's the sound
Exactly.
like? Because like my bHaptics is kind of loud.
there's no rumble. There's
Shouldn't
no sound
be.
here at all.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
zero sound.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
There's
That's
because there's
incredible.
no motor. Like in the bHaptics, you have their like actuators. Their
Yeah,
motors.
like rumble packs
So
and
exactly.
over.
So you do hear that. Bzzz,
Yeah.
bzzz, when it goes off. So yeah, this
Hmm.
thing was pretty amazing. They were talking. There is battery, I think, with this that has to be worn with a plug, but they were like
Sure.
12 hours. I think they said in the battery.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
Huh.
It's pretty awesome.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing blew me away, man. I was like,
Yeah.
I had not like, I wasn't like you. I didn't know anything about OWO. I never heard of them. So I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? And there's a lot of hokey stuff at the show. You mean,
Yeah.
you look at it and you're, oh my God, what is this? But this thing, I was like blown away. And I kept coming back to it. It was a booth that I probably went to 3 times just to go back
Really?
and talk to them again. Like, I got another question. I want to talk to you guys again because
Yeah, that's cool.
it was just that cool. And, the demo of it was completely amazing. You were in like I don't know what the game was, but you were in a warehouse and it was like drones all around you shooting at you, and they set the demo up so there's no here's the demo you see in the picture, but there's no way you could avoid them. They want you to get hit with the projectiles from the drones, and you do, and every time there's an impact, you're like, oh my God, it's just. I mean, it would never hurt you to hurt you, but
Right.
it just gave you that sense that there's an impact. There's something there. It's just
That is going to be a really hard thing for a company like this that's newer, is to get developers though to come on board to add this to their games, and that'll be what sells it. I mean, if it
Yeah.
runs rampant and people love it and developers add it
And
stuff,
there'll probably be things kind of like bHaptics. I mean, even bHaptics to me doesn't
Open
have the
source a little
greatest
bit.
library of fully supported games, but
Right.
there are a lot of mods that you can add into the games and stuff like Population 1 and stuff that are pretty good mods. So I would imagine this will be the same way. But
Hopefully
I mean,
they do.
if this stuff catches on enough, then and
Right.
it can get simple enough that SDK can be added simply into the game. Hopefully more and more people will pick it up. But it is, I mean, yeah, it coming out of the gate, it's probably not going to have the biggest, as far as how many games and stuff will work with it. But I'm actually really interested in this just because of the lightweight factor, the not getting as hot in this and stuff. I think this is just something that, and I'm also like, I think the vibration feedback is cool for certain things, but I always wanted a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? Like just the vibration motors to me didn't. I mean, I like the bHaptics X40. We've talked about it before, but it's not like something that I use all the time because it's just, I don't know. I don't feel like I get as much as I want to get out of it. So I'm really curious to try this out, and how much you have been impressed with it, Eric, is making me a little bit more excited. The fact that you went back to the booth multiple times and that 10s unit type technology and stuff, I think that'll be pretty cool to try out.
So wait, Mash, did they have like a changing room you had to go into, or did you have to strip down to like put this thing on? I'm wondering how this worked at the showroom now.
With some of these people at the show, it would have been like, oh boy, don't do that here.
That's great.
But yeah,
I
they
started
did.
thinking
It
about
was-
that. That's
Yeah, it was
wild.
nice. Their booth, they had like this this column that shot out straight up into the rafters. It was like 40 feet tall, and that it was a square, and that was their changing room. They basically just
That's
opened
cool.
the door. You went right inside there, and you could put the shirt on, and
Huh.
it was cool.
It's pretty
and
awesome.
they had like
Great.
multiple sizes of shirts for everybody to try. And
I was just gonna say, do they have like a male and female even in different size shirts, or are
They
they
do,
kind of
yeah.
doing universal? Do they?
Yep.
That's cool.
No, they had like because it was even a different color. Like there was several women that I saw that tried it on, that tested it, and they were loving it too. And
That's cool.
and they had like a different color for it must have been a whole different shirt, I would assume, just because the fit is going to be different
Right.
so you don't want to like
Right.
jam somebody into something that's not meant for them. So yeah,
Well, if it
was-
needs to be skin tight,
Yeah.
that's,
It does.
That's big then. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
for
you can
sure.
see here in the pictures, it's like one of those like
Compression.
tight fitting body shirts. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's working off like a Bluetooth connection is what I would imagine. Okay.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when do the pants come
Yeah.
out?
I know, right? That's what everybody was asking. When's the crotch one coming out?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. You said that, and I instantly got the Ready Player One visual of the boot suit he's wearing, and the girl dances up. Yeah,
that market would just expand immensely at that point, probably, and I could imagine where that goes.
Right.
They just made $10 million this morning if they launched a crotch suit.
You got it. Yep. Crotch suit.
It's so true too. It's so true.
Bad. It's bad. Okay.
Oh man.
I do feel the price on that's probably a little high for a lot of people, which is sad. Like, and I saw a couple mentions in chat. If it was down around the 300 mark, I feel like it would sell really well at $300. But
yeah, I think so too.
500 starts to push it.
Yeah,
I know it's new.
The X40, even when I bought that, that's what $499, $500. Even after I bought that, I bought it and I was like, I almost felt a little bit guilty because I was like, that's a lot of money I feel like to spend on this thing. So I almost wish I would have got the X16 instead because it was a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I don't. Did you try this smell kit?
I did.
Did you?
Dude, it's so, these guys were the coolest guys too. They went out with us a couple nights, and they were just really smart. These cool guys, you look at them and you talk to them, you're like, holy crap, you're way smarter than me. But they're super smart guys, and yeah, it's cool. Who knows if it'll ever make it? I know all these smell sense things have all gone.
What was the smell or feel real or?
Feel real, yeah.
Does it feel real? Yeah.
Feel real, yeah. Mm-hmm. All these have gone to look like close, like to be, put on the market, and they just don't. Something happens, whether it's FDA or whatever.
That's usually.
These are using essential oils, and they're actually using oil, any kind of oil. You could actually just go out somewhere and buy one of these like oils and put it in
diffuser oils.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And they're also. They're doing it a little bit better in the sense too, because the Feel Real was a module that went right over your face. This is actually a module that sits back from you, and it has like a little fan. It'll kind of put it into the air. You're not like directly injecting this stuff into your face, which I think is to me would be something I would much rather use than that Feel Real module. But
well, that's what the FDA probably doesn't approve of either, is having chemicals that close.
Yeah, because I mean, this is just like an air freshener in your room in a sense. And like you said, if it's an essential oil, it shouldn't be something that's. I think the Feel Real was using like the vape stuff. Yeah. So, and I mean, not everybody wants to breathe that in all the time. So I think this, I mean, if this is just in the room and the room kind of smells it, but it's blowing it in your direction, it's still a little weird, I think, but I think this is a better way of doing it. At least, like you said, I don't know if it's ever going to come to market, but
yeah. I mean, they had a desktop version that you could use out of VR if you were going to use, like, say, for flat gaming, which was kind of cool. And they had like bigger, like little vial, like bigger, vials full of the diffuser oil. And then they had the small ones that would just like it hung around your chest, like with a strap that came around over your neck and then strapped around your chest to keep it in place. And they had a demo where it was like a boardwalk. So you're walking down like a boardwalk, say if you were going to go to like the New Jersey boardwalk, and you can smell popcorn and you can smell beer and you can smell like toffee. And it was good. I'll give it that. I mean, it was really, really good.
So how did that add to the experience though? Because I mean, I feel like anytime you mix more senses into an already immersive environment per se, I feel like sometimes thinking about it, I'm like, I don't really know that smells would really, but then smells can jog memories, smells, like there's so many things that smells can do. And so I think that it actually is a really powerful tool, if something like this was ever perfected and on the market. Like did it really add to that experience, like and make you feel like you're somewhere even more?
I think this would be better like after you've used it for a period of time and gotten used to having it on, and then all of a sudden it just becomes a thing. So it's not like, oh, I smell this or oh, I smell that. It's just because that's when you get to enjoy it. If you're thinking about, oh, I smell this, then it's kind of like taking you away from whatever else you're doing. But if it becomes like a part of what you do all the time, then you're like, wow, this is amazing. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about the smell, but subconsciously I'm thinking I can smell this. And then,
it's pretty cool.
So I think if you used it over like 6 months or, 2 or 3 months and just got used to it, I think it would probably be pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you remember Resident Evil 7, they had that candle. They had a candle for the terrible smelling candle.
Well, they have the gunpowder candles. So if you're playing a shooter, they have candles for tires, smell for car racing games and sims. Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff you can add, and on the cheap too. You don't have to have something like this, but it is cool. Every sense I feel like adds more and more and more. A motion rig, feedback for a wheel on a car, all those little things. The more you add, you forget that you're not doing something real, and it just and
Absolutely.
you shouldn't think about it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be obvious that it's there, like you said. It should just be
It's subtle,
gradual.
subtle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like it's natural, and if it's natural, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And when I was looking, I was trying to find a good video clip to show of this thing, and I couldn't really find anything. The best one was Linus Tech Tips actually did a video on this, where I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that he had done a video on this. So, but I figured if I used his video, I'd probably get the video pulled down or something. I wasn't sure if that would be okay, so I didn't use that. But if you do want to see some more info on it, he goes into a pretty big depth in that video. It's pretty cool to watch, and I was pretty impressed with it. But there's a lot of things, they're messing around with a lot of the other senses. This is one out of Japan or China or something, and this is really creepy. I don't believe this is at CES, and if it was, I probably wouldn't have tried it. But this is actually a thing that produces tastes. So this is a lickable substance that is really creepy. That video, I just have a hard time watching.
I know, I can't believe.
Don't worry, I added another clip in slow motion. You'll get that later. But
Oh my god.
but yeah, this is so not only can you feel VR, taste VR, you can smell VR,
Right.
and yeah, it's a whole
I
nother
mean,
level.
eventually we're just going to be in this bubble where things are injected and poked and prodded at
Yeah,
us. And,
that's what when I
come
saw
on.
this, I
It's just-
started thinking of like the memory engine and the Ready Player One scenario stuff, and I'm like, eventually they're just going to be able to feed us like a vitamin pack, but it's going to be like
pill
your
or
full
something.
meal, and you can have it taste like whatever you want. Like this thing she's licking off of there is milk chocolate. She's like, ooh, it tastes like milk chocolate, and I'm like,
Oh my
gross. Like, what are you licking? Like, what is this? Like, it's so weird to me. But
I
yeah,
love that you
so
keep showing the slow mo.
I know. It's
it was cracking me
take
up.
anything away from today's show, it's that
Yep.
you don't want to
Oh,
try
yeah.
this, probably. Or maybe you do.
No,
I don't know. Whatever you fancy.
I didn't see this one at CES, but can you imagine,
Right.
with everything going on in the world
Oh,
right now,
right,
having
right.
to do something where you disinfect somebody
Right.
licking something?
Yeah, like here, Mash, come into our booth and lick
Yeah.
this thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Can
and
you-
then
I'm
spraying
like,
it-
no, I'm gonna pass.
And then
Sorry,
spray this
guys."
bleach on your tongue after you're done.
Exactly.
That's like something that should be
man.
under somebody's fingernail or scraped into a pile.
Oh
Yeah.
man. The
Horrible,
chat,
man.
the chat's cracking me up. It said, Me Water said, get us ready for the Matrix. EV Man said, play it back now, hurry. Wolf Raza, he's not having any of it. Skydell said, smart fart simulator, which that would not be good.
Coming.
Blizz said, Meta's new fragrance. But
Oh my gosh.
oh man,
The
yeah,
whole
that one's
meta thing.
That one's a little bit
take
much.
the whole meta thing though, and everyone jumping on board now because Facebook named their company Meta.
it's taken
Now
over, man. Like
everyone- it's
literally.
all- I know.
Like he said, I
Everyone's
see
talking about
metaverse.
it.
I see the word metaverse on everything now. Like I'm not even
I
at
don't get
CES,
it.
and I see it all over the place. It's just like, whoa.
And I feel like everyone's definition of meta and metaverse is totally different. It's like people comparing 360 videos to VR. It's like
Yeah.
I don't think people understand like how meta is being used in our world compared to what maybe other people think of it. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
most of these companies have no idea what Meta is, especially
Right.
these companies that are putting Meta in their titles. So I've gone to many of these booths, and some, most of them the smaller ones, and I'm like, I see the Metaverse in their title, or I see Meta in their title, so I go up and I say, what
Yeah,
do you
what is it?
have? What
Right.
do you? How are you bringing me into the Metaverse? And then they start talking, and I'm like, you have nothing to do with the Metaverse. I don't know what you're talking about.
They just want
It's
to be able
just
to
a
use
key-
that
it's a
hashtag.
catch- Yeah, that's all it is.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's so weird. But,
Yeah, but there are big companies out there that really are pushing it.
Right.
Canon is all about 360 VR videos. They're all about this
I know.
Kokomo.
Full lens.
Yeah, Kokomo is something with Canon, and I got a chance to do this. And this is basically bringing not an avatar into VR to make calls with people, but bringing a digitized version of yourself into a call with another person, and you're going somewhere. Like I did it where I was talking to someone at a Malibu ranch, and we were both there in our digitized real forms talking to each other. I saw him like I would be seeing him in a video, and we were having a full conversation, and we were on completely different sides of the CES floor. This was amazing.
yeah, that's the
amazing
metaverse.
technology.
That's the metaverse technology that I
That's
want to
the
see.
metaverse.
The
Hell
real,
yeah, man.
the presence of actually your body being in another place, and that kind of, that interaction with another human that is hard to tell isn't a real interaction. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I think is really cool. And also the Canon, you know, they've had this lens out for a little while, but I know this is at CES, and I don't have a Canon camera. If I did, I would probably buy this lens because I do like the VR 180 stuff. You know, I have the Views camera, which is kind of outdated now, but I think this is probably some of the best consumer quality VR video you could probably make, I would think, right?
Well, it's not VR though. It's just stereoscopic though too. So you're only going to be looking. You know what I mean? You're going to have a very limited field of view, so it wouldn't be true VR. But I mean, I could imagine on a So I could imagine though on like a serious scale, you could probably interlace 4 of these cameras or 6 of these cameras or however, you know, like the old GoPro style of creating VR video. You probably could do with this. And
but the 180 video, I think some of the 180 video when done properly is pretty impressive. So I think this thing would be really cool to try out. I haven't tried it. I think there's probably some stuff you could watch, but I've not like the YouTube quality of the VR 180 videos is never as good as like the actual native. You know, if you had this camera, you could try the actual footage that you produce afterwards. So, but I know there is some stuff on YouTube that you could probably mess around in, but that one's, I think, pretty cool. When you were sending me the pictures and I was going through all the pictures and stuff you sent, and I came across this, I don't know how you pronounce it, the Haritora X. And so this is a full body tracking thing, but then the mouth thing, I was like, I had to look this up. I was like, what is this thing? Did you try this, or was it, I'm guessing you couldn't try it. It was probably just a demo that this guy was doing, right?
Yeah, you couldn't try it. It's called the mutalk, this thing. And now this booth was XTAL. Now XTAL,
same person doing that headset.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a smaller company, but I think they're like partnered or backed with Panasonic. So they've got there's some beef behind this company.
We'll get into the headset after this.
Yeah, but the mutalk was weird, man. And the one picture that you showed there with the guy when he had it on his face, he was actually like kneeling on the floor with his hands behind his back. He had the headset on, and then he had the thing over his face. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Why do I feel like everything at CES is geared towards VR porn? Can I just be honest? Like, I feel like everything I see there, they feel like it's a money grab or something, or they'll sell a lot of things. I hate to say it.
I mean, in all honesty, though, that industry makes a ton of money. So when they see new technology comes out, you know, like the internet, you know, that was a huge money-making thing for them. You didn't have to have a VHS tape anymore. I didn't know we were going to go on this topic, but I mean, so
I can't look at this stuff and not say it. I mean,
I mean, it is. I mean, for these companies, it's a huge money-making thing. So they're gonna. I mean, they see the dollar signs when this new technology comes out, and they know what, you know. I mean, what sells and what people are gonna spend money on, I guess. And so I mean, I understand it, but it is weird.
Yeah, to me, the only reason they had that mutalk in the booth was to get people to come to the booth, because it was everybody wanted to go, and they were like, oh my god, what the hell is this guy doing? But then it brought him in for the other 2 items they had, which was the their body tracking system, which worked extremely well.
This looks really good. The body tracking,
like $40. I mean, this is full body tracking for $240.
$270 is what they said on the.
Okay.
Yeah, $270. They said it's a 10-hour runtime. It's true wireless, low latency, and it's full body tracking, as you can see in the video clip here. So, I mean, it is for $240. That's not, I mean, I would, if I was wanting to do some kind of full body tracking thing, I would rather go with a kit like this than a bunch of Vive trackers or whatever placed all over, you know, something that would just seem easier to me to throw on it. And so, I mean, again, all of this stuff is stuff that needs to happen for the metaverse thing to happen, where we're going to have, you know, full body tracking and realistic avatars and everything else. But I mean, for the money, this product doesn't seem too bad.
Yep.
And this was one of those other booths where 1 million people went to, man. I mean, sadly, as Bradley was here at this booth, I mean, he was so impressed with it. You know, and then they were only showing this during one of the press nights. I could not find their booth on the show floor anywhere.
Oh, really?
I heard it was somewhere, but I couldn't find him. I was lucky enough to see him on press night, but that was it.
Cool.
There's what you were talking about, Tyler. Those positions.
Oh my god.
This is what I can't take right here. Like, if you have to show, no one. I'm not gonna say nobody cares about this, like, but when you're playing VR, I mean,
you don't do those moves, Tyler. I have seen you do those moves in contractors before.
Look,
okay,
no,
don't even lie.
I always make fun, because if you actually teabag in VR like shooters, you're actually teabagging. It's a sad thing. Like, to see somebody do it, I'm like, you know, this guy's actually doing that, right? Like, you're not clicking a button.
You're not hitting a button. You're not hitting the
And so some dude in his living room, and his wife and daughter are like, "What are you doing?
What is going on?"
Right, exactly.
I've seen some of those video clips, and some of them are like hilarious. Like the one where the wife walks in and her husband's playing Saints and Sinners, and he's got it up on the TV, and he's just taking like the zombie head and like bashing it, and then she's like, I think I married a murderer or something. Like, it's so funny when, especially when you don't think anybody's watching you, like the stuff that goes on, it's kind of crazy. But so what was the mouth thing? That was some kind of like microphone that doesn't project your voice outside?
So people don't hear you?
Yeah, so it's kind of like what we were just talking about with people seeing you in VR. So this was if you're in virtual reality and you want to speak or have conversations and be private, and you have other people in your home and you don't want them to hear you, or they actually talked about it in more of like a business like. So people who are working, in large, offices where you're in cubicles when you're next to other people,
Didn't think about
and
that.
you're working, and you can't have, if you're working in VR, you can't have, multiple conversations going around you where it's picking everything up, where it's, where it's hard to work. You could actually talk inside of this thing, and there was zero sound that came out of it. And he was like screaming at one point into this thing, and I could just barely hear a little bit of, like a little bit of a noise when he was screaming into this thing. So, I mean, I could see where there's applications for it. It just looks so weird.
Yeah, it does. When I first saw it, I was like, what is that? Like, I had to look it up to find out what it actually was. But I mean, that's one of the products I would have never even thought of. But I mean, I guess I can kind of see, or even people that are gamers. Like, I know me and Tyler, we're both married, and we'll be playing Contractors, Population 1, and the wives tell us, like, why are you guys yelling? And we're like, what?
Yeah,
what
are you doing? I'm like,
we didn't
I'm
know we were
screaming
yelling.
at Sean. He needs to come over and help me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand.
I got 3 of them on me. Get over here, help me out.
Or we all have kids too. I mean, when you're getting shot by a horde of zombies and after the fall, or they're attacking you and after the fall, and you start swearing or something like that. It's like, it's nice to be able to have maybe somebody not hear you, or have your kids around and not hear you, going nuts on your headset.
Right, for sure. Oh, Tyler's internet was going a little crazy there for a second. But so the same company came out with this. Tyler's resized. We're just going to let him go. So this is sadly, it's Bradley's clip. He was playing this headset. This is from the same company that ShiftAll that did that full body tracking and stuff. This is the MeganeX. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, or I thought it was like Mengane, like like Menga.
Yeah, maybe.
It's weird. It could be. It's not easy to pronounce. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. So, and if you saw I think it was the year before CES, they had the Panasonic ones that looked very similar to this, and this is they've used, I guess, some of their tech, and this is a product that they're working on now. But this is a VR headset per se. And did you get a chance to get into this one? Did you hop into this one?
Yeah, I tried it on. It was quick. They basically just let you look around the Steam home environment. That's really all they had going with it. Again, there was so many people. This was not the show. You know what I mean? Where you see Bradley right now, this was just a conference center at Mandalay Bay that they had this unveiled event where they had maybe 200 vendors, and all the press were just flocked around here. So it was tough to really get into this booth, but they showed it quick, and I was super impressed. These things are super crisp, super clear. They don't look like they'd have any field of view because they're so small. They would look like you're looking through binoculars with these things, but it's really, really good.
Yeah. So I mean, this is so they're using 1.3-inch OLED micro displays, 2560 by 2560 per eye, rated at 120 hertz. And they're saying it's a 6-DoF headset, and it weighs in at around 250 grams. The one thing I noticed, so thanks to Brad Lynch for letting us use this clip here too, because he had there wasn't a lot of footage of this headset out there. But the one thing I noticed is that he's holding it a lot. Was it something that was difficult to keep on your face? Like if you're playing an active game, that's probably not going to work very well for this style, sunglasses type thing, right?
It's actually pretty tight on the back of your head.
Is it?
So I would say it's similar to the Vive Flow, the way it stays on. The issue that I had with it is I had to keep adjusting it to get my sweet spot, and that's while I was holding it. So I don't know if that was why he was holding it too, but I was having to keep moving it up and down just to, because it does have settings on it, like a diopter setting.
Right.
I didn't have time to mess with it. Literally, and it was minutes you had to get in and out of this thing. So I was just kind of moving it around. So I don't know if he was doing it because of that, but I'm sure it fits everybody's head different. But to me, it felt like I have a Vive Flow, but probably not for much longer. But I have a Vive Flow that I have, and it fits pretty much the same way. But and weight wise, it feels just like the Vive Flow. But this is real VR, not fake VR.
Right. Yeah. This is gonna be 6-DoF. Yeah, and they're saying this is supposed to be estimated price is less than $900. So that kind of gives you an idea of, I think I like the look of it. Like I like the form factor, and I like the thought of VR headsets eventually getting to form factors like this and looking a little bit more like cyberpunk kind of a look, kind of cooler looking than just this big block on your face. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of neat.
I don't know. I'm not sold on needing looks unless it's like an AR or something that I'm going to take out and wear out in public. Other than that, I don't care what I look like when I'm in VR. When I look through the lens, I don't care what I look like. If I look funny to somebody else, if it works, great. So now if it was a pair of like AR glasses that I'm wearing out on the street or something, then yes, obviously it needs to be,
I just still think
not everyone's going to stare at you type thing.
I still think it's cool looking though, even just to sit on a headset stand or something like that. It's just a cool looking headset that I think even if nobody sees me while I'm in my VR room, I still think it's kind of cool to have some cool looking headsets. But yeah, I don't know.
Just the weight for me, man. It was so light. I mean, literally, it's like wearing a pair of glasses. Just not a little bit, maybe a little bit heavier than that. It's
sure.
And we all spend a ton of time in VR. And Tyler, I know you have issues with headaches in your neck, and the lighter we get these things, I'll stay in longer. There's times where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna play something. I'm gonna go play flat because I just don't feel like putting a headset on. So I'll go play a flat game or something. You know what I mean? So if I can get off of that, I just don't feel like putting a headset on today. Once I get to that point, we're all be in VR all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I totally agree.
My wife has that same issue she feels claustrophobic with VR because of the blinders and feeling like you're looking through something narrow. So I can't wait for her to try the Lynx because it doesn't do that. If you don't have the blinders on, you're only looking into the headset and you still see your peripheral. I think that might be a game changer, something like that. So I'm really excited for her to try that for kind of that reason. But it is, and it's balance too. It's weight. It's all of it. That's why we love the CV1 so much because it's so light. It's so good.
Yeah.
But, now we have batteries, processors, and everything on board. So
right. All right, let's roll through some other stuff real quick so we can get into some PSVR2. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. The bHaptics TactGlove. Did you get a chance to try this one out?
Yeah. Alex Milan was in the booth. He's just an awesome guy.
Yeah,
and we got to hang out a little bit, and it was super cool, man. I love bHaptics. I think they're really pushing what we have for peripherals right now, and I think moving forward with whatever they do, they're going to be the company that developers want to work with to bring this stuff into the game, so we don't have to mess around with it because. You guys know it's all about friction. You don't want to have to go do a mod to bring in this, to bring in that.
I
don't want to have to go to Melon Loader to go do Pop One, which is a pain in the ass.
I know.
I just want to hit plug and play. I just want to plug and play and go. And I think they're quickly getting there.
Yeah. Which game did you try? Did you try the hand physics lab?
I did both. Yeah, I did both. I tried the hand physics lab, which was really cool. It was amazing. The gloves are great. It's 5 senses, so or 5 touch sensors on your fingertips and your thumb. I would have loved to see something on the palm of your hand or the back of your hand.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought that too.
But again, it's not a sensation as more of a rumble again. So you're like when you grab a block in the hand physics lab, you're just feeling a rumble. You're not feeling. There's no resistance.
Right.
Of course,
Right.
Sure.
So but it gives you some type of feel like you're grabbing something. But the unplugged was where it was really cool, man. Just to be able to feel like, the resonance of the guitar.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be more, that would translate better because with the guitar, you do feel vibrations and stuff. So that's actually kind of the perfect application, I guess, for it. Would be pretty cool. But yeah, so they're saying later this year for consumer, to be available in the consumer market later this year.
Do you guys have any other haptics with the bHaptics? Do you have anything else?
I just have the X40. So I've thought about it's just so expensive, like to get the full blown kit. And I've thought about doing it, but it's just so much money. And then again, that's even more friction that's going to stop me from using it all the time because I have, the wrist thing to put on, the face thing to put on, like so many things. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Do you have the rest of it?
I don't. I was in the same boat. I had the only thing that's different for me. I have an X16, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have got the X40 because they put me in an X40 now for the demo.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'4", so I'm tall. So the X16 doesn't even come down to my belly button. So it's more like it's not even like a vest. It's like a mini shirt.
A tube top.
What I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Crop top.
Yeah. Picture that one. That's a funny picture right there. But yeah. I don't have any of the other haptics. I'm like you. I'm like, I just don't really think I need anything else. And I think the facial thing is more of a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that, but I did try, which I think might be my next purchase, is the gauntlets, which are the ones like the racers that go here. Oh, they're so cool, man.
I might have to get those. I know Wolf
'Cause you,
Raza
like,
talks
when you
about those
shoot-
all the time.
Yeah, when you shoot a gun, if they have it calibrated, you'll feel like the recoil of the gun.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool,
I
man.
should get those because that I feel like that's something that I would take advantage of a lot, especially because I love shooters. So I think that is something
Yeah,
that I
same
would.
here.
Yeah. So let's talk about some PlayStation VR2. Can we call it PSVR2 because the official name is PlayStation VR2, right? Like, but everybody's gonna call it PSVR2 still, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's
what
gonna
it is.
happen
Come
one way or
on.
another. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was-
PSVR2.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
Right.
Yeah. So what was I mean, because nobody knew for sure. Everybody anticipated that, Sony's going to announce something. They're going to show us something, which they still haven't shown us the actual headset. We have seen the controllers, which are very similar to what we saw in the past that I think was leaked out or whatever. But I mean, the headset, I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. But we got all the specs. They finally, told us this is coming, where before they never really put out much information on it. What was the atmosphere like in this room while they're starting this press conference and all the VR people there are like, oh, come on, PSVR 2, what was that like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll set it up for you. So during press days, they did every press conference, even the huge ones like Qualcomm and Canon and all these companies. They did them at Mandalay Bay. This was Monday and Tuesday. The actual show at the convention center did not open until Wednesday to the public, even to the press. So Sony on Tuesday was the only press conference that was at the convention center. It was actually at their booth. So they had to bus every member of the media from Mandalay Bay right after one of the big, I think it was Hyundai. Right after Hyundai, everybody had to get bussed over to the convention center for this event. So this was like a major thing. We were all walking into the convention center. They were still building booths as we were walking in. And so everybody rushed over to get there. They only had minimal seating, maybe 100 people where you could get chairs. I was lucky enough to get there earlier. I had gotten into like the third row, and then it was standing room only, and it was just mobbed with people. It was amazing. It's just amazing, the hold that Sony has. I mean, they haven't even shown anything yet, and people are just drooling to see whatever Sony wants to put out. I did notice as soon as I walked in, they had the main stage in the front. Then to the left, they had something set up for their new drone system, which is crazy. It's amazing. One of the coolest things I've seen. And then they had a whole section to the right that was all PlayStation 5. So I was like, okay, they're going to have something here today. So we all sat down. It was like every word, you're hanging on the chairman's every word. And then he announces Jim Ryan, and people were like, what? Jim Ryan's here? And like everybody, all of a sudden, Jim Ryan's walking out, and you hear click, 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 click. I mean, there's a million cameras going off. Nobody knew that Jim Ryan was going to be here. There was maybe a thought, but nothing was said or anything like that.
Right. Not on the list of press release stuff. Yeah.
Right. And then even when he did come out, you're like, he's probably not going to talk about VR, right? He'll talk about whatever PlayStation 5's got going on. And then when he started going into the thing and he was like, we're here to officially announce the name of the PlayStation VR, and people were just like crazy. There was murmurs everywhere. I mean, it was, they actually brought Tom Holland out from Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Oh, yeah.
And he came out on stage, and Jim Ryan got like a better reception than Tom Holland did. People were freaking over Jim Ryan. It was
That's
amazing.
crazy.
It gave me goosebumps. It was one of those moments where you're just like, holy crap, am I sitting here in the middle of all these people doing this right now? And I was like, holy crap. So it was probably one of the coolest things that I've been through with the show. But people just freaked out, man. As soon as he showed them, then he showed the Orb controllers, which are now not the Orbs anymore. They're the PSVR2 Sense
controllers.
Yeah. Sense VR.
But everybody thought he's going to show the headset next, right? Like he just showed the pictures came up on the big screen of the controllers, and like, here comes the headset, and and then he pulled back and they didn't do it. But
yeah, I'm surprised. I wonder why they didn't
Right.
show the headset. I
I
mean,
know.
obviously they have this thing, in developers' hands and stuff, I would imagine. And I mean, they have, they announced Horizon that's coming for it and all of that. So I wonder is it just the suspense thing, and they like to have people talking about it? Because I mean, I have to
Probably.
imagine they could have showed the headset if they wanted to, but I mean, we're dying to see this thing. We're dying to see the price. We've had a bunch of discussions in our Discord about what we think the price is going to be, and that's going to be interesting to see because, it is, you have the Oculus Quest that is selling, at $299 at a subsidized price, for an all-in-one unit. You're still going to need a PS5, which a lot of people are going to already have a PS5 for the most part. So, I mean, I don't know what the price is going to be. You guys can say some stuff in chat and see what your thoughts are and why you think. I'm really hoping for around that $400 to $500 price range. That's what I have in my head. That's what I'm really hoping for. And I think PSVR 1, I think, launched at $400. Was it $400 or $500?
$399, I think.
Was it $399?
$399.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's
I
so
think
much.
they'll be there. I think they'll be close.
They're going to have
If
to.
not-
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a hard sell if this thing is $900. I feel like, if you're spending, $500 on a PS5 that are hard to get, some people are paying more than that. And then, another $800-900, that's going to be tough. But this thing is so packed full of stuff. It says eye tracking. It has the rumble for your face, which I was like, that's really weird. But then I started looking up some of the use cases and what people were talking about with it. And I'm like, that could be pretty interesting. Sony's very good at haptics. Look what they've done with the PS5 controller, and the triggers.
Sure,
so, they're very good at haptics. So I don't feel like they would put something like that in the headset unless it's going to be impressive, and as developers can take advantage of that. And there's going to be use cases that we're probably not even thinking of what they're going to be able to do with that. And I think that is a really cool thing to have built in there. But like I said, the eye tracking, obviously this is going to be an inside out tracked headset, which everybody assumed that was going to be the case because that's pretty much the way to go nowadays. So no more crazy setup with the PSVR 1, with the breakout boxes and the cameras that always need calibrated and all the
losing tracking.
Yeah, all the issues that it had. Like all this stuff is fixed. They're talking about a panel refresh rate of 90 and 120 hertz. This is going to be OLED. So a lot of people, one of the biggest complaints I hear about screens and stuff right now is that so many of the headsets are using a LCD panel, fast switch LCD panel and stuff. And I hear a lot of people say, man, I miss the OLED stuff. I miss the black levels, and all that stuff. So we're going to be getting an OLED panel in this headset, 2000 by 2040 per eye. So this should look ridiculous. It should look really, really good, as well as HDR, which, Fluke said in the Discord, he was talking about HDR and he was like, HDR to me always looks kind of weird. And I've felt the same way. Like when I see things in HDR, it almost looks unnatural to me. Like even in like the editing program I use, you can put HDR effect on stuff. And I'm like, it looks bad. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I'm sure that's not going to be the case with their 4K HDR stuff. I would imagine it's probably going to look really good. But
most panels now are being manufactured with HDR anyways. A lot of them. If they're trying to save a buck, I'm sure not, but it seems to be every panel now,
But I cannot wait to see this thing. They're talking a field of view of approximately 110 degrees, 4 cameras for headset and controller tracking IR. And then obviously you have your cameras for your eye tracking, which they've talked about being able to do foveated rendering in this as well. So if you can take the power of the panels and stuff that are in this headset, if they can really pull this off based off of the power that's in the PS5, and then you're able to use foveated rendering to really up the ante of what you're looking at using the eye tracking and the higher resolution, because essentially what foveated rendering is, if you don't know, is it's going to put the highest resolution at the spot that you're looking. So it can track where your eyes are looking, and as your eyes go to a different spot, that's going to be the higher resolution, and the things around it are going to be lower. And that saves a lot of weight on your system. That saves a lot of power on your system and stuff, where it can really focus that right on one spot instead of the whole screen. So I think that, I'm just blown away. I knew PSVR2 was going to be something that was going to probably really take the VR world by storm. And I think it's absolutely going to. What do you guys think?
I think that the only thing that kills me is the cable still, and I see people saying it in chat.
A lot of people say that.
And I think this would have been a no-brainer. It's still a no-brainer because it's going to be an unbelievable headset. They're going to take it at a little bit of a loss because they're, console company. So they will take it at a loss. It'll be cheaper than it should be for everything it has.
Probably.
The cable still kills me as where we're going forward. I feel like that needs to be nixed. And maybe it will be. We might see that still. And that could be down the road. They could sell it as a peripheral.
Wireless adapter.
Right. So we might see that still. And that would be awesome. And I feel like that's what they probably should do to keep the price cheaper and then sell that as an upgrade. I just don't know if they will or not. We'll see.
Rock.
Rizzle.
Thank you for that super chat for the PSVR2 fund. We're going to need it. Hopefully it's not too crazy expensive, but there's a lot of stuff coming out this year, and I feel like it's probably going to be an expensive year for those of us that try to get a lot of the stuff that we can, to try as many things as we can. But I think the biggest complaint that I hear is the cable. That is what everybody says. And, I actually had a conversation. There's a guy that I work with that's a big PlayStation 5 guy, and I just recently finally got a PS5 myself. I haven't even used it yet. I finally got one. He was saying, we were talking about VR, PSVR. You know, I've talked to him many times about getting a Quest 2. I'm like, dude, it's $299. Go to Best Buy and buy one, you know. And he was like, well, I'm going to get the PSVR 2 now. And he's like, but I don't know because it's got a cable. He's like, I'll just rip my PS5 off the wall. I'm like, dude, I played with a cable for years, and I was playing with a DisplayPort or an HDMI cable and a USB 3 cable bundled up in a thing. Like, that was a serious cable. You know, this is going to be a USB-C cable, more probably, I'm assuming, like an Oculus Link cable. I said, you know, it's long enough that you have room to move around, but it is something that I agree. I mean, after playing so much Quest 2, playing wireless PCVR, it is something that is hard to go back to, is that wire. I don't think it's a deal breaker for me, for sure. I'm definitely buying the PSVR 2, but I do hope and imagine that they'll have some kind of wireless adapter in the future. And it's probably a price thing too. It may be a price thing that they need to keep it down.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering though is if it is USB-C, I feel like that may only be for part charging, right? Because could you pass that much information and resolution and bitrate stuff through that USB-C and power and everything you need? I mean, we haven't seen that yet done.
They're saying it's wired though. They're not saying that it's just a charge cable or anything like that. I mean, they're saying this is a wired headset.
Well, that's one of the biggest concerns right now, is because they only said USB-C, so everybody's like, is that are we gonna have compression like you know, like the Quest 2? Is that going to be an issue? But I just can't see them doing that. There's no way that they're going to come out and have a cable on it and then make sure you have to go through a compression, because they're all about the quality of the content. I mean, so I can't see where they're gonna skimp on any of that. If you're going to have a wire, then don't do compression. You know, do something. So I can't see them not having it set up that way. I don't know.
But they'll almost have to though, because I don't think USB-C can handle the native bitrate to run that full resolution and stuff, can it?
I don't know. I mean, I have to imagine it can, but I don't know enough about the...
But if it can't, then we have to have all that onboard processing. So we're already to that step of needing a new strap and a battery, and it's a wireless headset, right? I mean, I'm just kind of surmising where it could go, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Maybe they can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll definitely have to see, but I think that, I mean, I know a lot of people are bent out of shape about the cable thing, but I don't know. I mean, this is going to be, I mean, you got to think about these Sony like exclusive titles in VR and the games that are going to be coming out for this thing. And I mean, I just think that, you know, as well as the controllers, you know, they have the adaptive trigger stuff in there. And I just think this is going to be a very, very good VR quality experience. I really do. And I think the cable is a little bit of a bummer, but I still hope for some kind of wireless, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, there's still details we got to learn. There's still, you know, price and release date. I've heard some things that they're talking about like second quarter 2022, which I would love for that to happen. I don't see that happening. I just see that happening more of a holiday 2022. I mean, I think that's the time to release it. You still have the rest of this year to hopefully get more PS5 in people's hands and the availability to be able to be out, but you are looking at a lot of other competition coming out before holiday season of 2022. You know, we're looking at the Cambria from Oculus, which we don't know what that's going to be exactly yet, but it's going to be a higher end headset, as well as Lynx and all these other headsets that are coming out this year, you know? So I don't know, but this is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just so good for VR, right?
It
I mean,
is.
this is getting Sony back in. Is just going to be better for all of us, whatever platform you want to be on. If you're a PC VR fan, this is great for us. I mean, trust me, I love PC VR. I love Quest. I love it all. You know, and that's why I think they're kind of I want PlayStation VR to be wired because I want the experience to be better. We already have a Quest. I don't want more mobile platform. I already have my mobile platform. I want AAA games with the highest quality of graphics I can get. If that means I got to be wired, I'll work it out, man. And I guarantee they're going to have some kind of ergonomics with this cord where it's not going to be like you're pulling on it all the time. They're going to have it set up so it's going to be nice.
Yeah, and people, I mean, there's going to be a console war in the sense of, you know, the Quest 2 versus the PSVR 2. But like you just said, you got to realize that if you're playing native Quest titles, which are impressive, and they've done some amazing things with those titles, and they look great and everything else, but you're still playing a mobile version of a game in a sense, you know, and you're not using the power of a PS5 or a PC, you know, when you're just playing those games. So Sony, I mean, look what they did with the first PlayStation 1, and that was behind the times in every sense of what the headset was for that time, and they still killed it with that headset, really. So, I mean, now they're going to have a headset on the market that can compete with anything that's out there, you know, spec-wise and above a lot of what's out there right now, and still have these amazing titles that they're going to be coming out for and stuff. I mean, I truly think this is going to be a killer experience for VR, even with that wire. I mean, I'll get over the wire if you ask me for the games that are going to be on this and the experience. It's just
So I want to go out here and say, what do you guys think will be the release game for PSVR2? What will be released alongside of it? I'm going to go ahead and say GTA.
Oh,
God, I'd freak, man. I'd freak.
I mean,
holy crap.
they got to have something big, right? I mean, they got to draw people in. They got to have people a reason to buy.
So the only thing that got
right?
announced was Horizon, right? The Horizon game. That's the only one that actually got officially announced for PSVR2, as far as I know. Yeah. I don't know.
But they didn't really say launch though. They just said it's
Right.
announced.
Yeah.
So that might not even be launched. Who knows?
Right.
I think you're probably looking at another Astrobot game,
Yeah.
or like Astrobot Rescue Mission, which is extremely popular. And it's, Astrobot is still, he's like the new PlayStation mascot,
Yeah,
even
I
flat.
agree.
So, but what I want Farpoint. I want Farpoint.
That's what I
too.
was going to say. That would be that would be my next thought too.
I wonder
would
if
be
they'll do
Farpoint.
another kind of aim controller, because that was one thing that I always was like, man, that aim controller is sweet. And if they could utilize, because I mean, that was behind the times too, but if they could utilize the Sense controllers built into some kind of aim controller, that would be cool. I mean, I'm sure there'll be gun stocks and stuff for it, but an actual controller like that would be.
I'm still surprised Facebook, Oculus, Meta hasn't released one themselves, truthfully. Like an official peripheral for something like that. I really am kind of surprised, but I've always thought that they should.
I don't know. I mean, if you get GTA right as a launch title, that would be pretty incredible. But even just the mini games that they had, with the first version of the PSVR, like the shark thing under the water, and the lay down racing thing, the luge thing or whatever. Like they did a lot of cool stuff, and that was early on. So I have to imagine they're going to have some stuff, even if it's the demo stuff that comes with it, I think is going to be absolutely impressive. I've heard people talking about, Half-Life Alyx, if they can get Half-Life Alyx to be ported over to Sony. And I don't think that's completely out of the cards. I think that could happen. As well as, people talking about that the level of quality of games that Half-Life Alyx is going to be like the minimum. And I don't know that that's going to be true, but I've heard people say that. And if we can get something like that, because to me, there's nothing out there right now that really compares with Half-Life Alyx as far as a game that I've a full campaign game that I've played and liked that much. But yeah, I mean, some people are saying Resident Evil Village, Blood and Truth 2, all kinds. Yes, I think GTA 6 will launch with PSVR 2, GTA 7 or GT 7, Gran Turismo 7. And Gran Turismo I used to love Gran Turismo back in the day on like PlayStation 1 and 2. That was like, I played so much of that. It was ridiculous. So,
which has that been officially announced to have VR now, right?
I heard something. I don't know if it was official.
Me too. Yeah, I heard some stuff running around about that one too.
Yeah.
I know the guy that I can't remember his name now. The guy that's behind the development, he's all about VR. He wants to do VR, so that everybody's kind of assuming that it's going to be coming for it. So
well,
I have to imagine. So
there's no wrong answers. Every one of those answers I want.
That's always the problem.
Everyone.
I seriously think it is going to be. I mean, there's going to be games beyond. I mean, we're going to be blown away, I think, by some of the games that get announced for this thing, and we're all going to be very excited. I cannot wait to get more information. But there's a Steam code for Zing the Land Beyond. Steam code thrown up there. So what time? How much more time we got? We're going long today. It's 12:09. We're a little bit over. A little bit over.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, that's all good.
No, this is what these shows are about, man.
Yeah, for sure. So me and Tyler teased about some information that we want to talk about towards the end of the show. Do you want to get into that stuff right now, Tyler? This is pretty big news for us, and I think pretty big news for some of the people that have been around for a long time. The newer people will be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
and
even people coming in, man, this is going to change the game kind of for us. So I've been amped about this. I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about this. This has been a 15-year in the making thing, actually. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and start? I mean, everyone knows kind of what I have going on in the background is I'm working on building a studio right now.
Yeah, so Tyler's building
in my basement.
Incredible studio in the basement that we've gone back and forth with all kinds of ideas and stuff. And if you know our history, so me and Tyler, we grew up as, kind of childhood friends. We lived, stone throws away from each other. And so we have, a lot of history as being friends together. And then we got out of school and we went off to school after high school. And then I moved away.
Cars.
We were big into cars. I moved away to Virginia, and I have lived in Virginia since 2006. And we do this show remotely. We play VR together. together all the time. That's how we stay friends and stay close. Well, coming up at the end of this month, we are actually moving back to Ohio due to some job things that were completely unforeseen, that my job wanted to move me to all places Ohio. So I'm going to be back close to my hometown. Me and Tyler are going to be living not far from each other like we have for many years. I was going to say,
your job is now like, I don't know, what, 10 minutes from my house. So yeah. We're good.
Yeah.
We're
so
good.
It's kind of a crazy turn of events that neither one of us really saw coming at all. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Paradise Scale, my goodness.
That happened a long time ago.
No. But so it's actually really exciting. It's going to be really crazy stressful for me because this is a very quick turnaround time frame that I didn't see coming. So now we're frantically trying to pack up the house and got to get our house on the market. And there's no houses available back in Ohio right now. So we're going to be trying to find an apartment or a rental house or something until we can buy another house, something, or build a house or something. But this is going to allow me and Tyler to do a lot of the things that we've wanted to do together, as far as even just the channel and VR stuff, content, gameplay, all this stuff that we've wanted to do, that we're always like, man, this would be so cool if we were together and able to do some of this stuff. And now we will be able to do some of this. Tyler is building a ridiculous studio in the basement that will allow us to do some really cool things together. And I'll still have another VR room set up in our next house. If I have a full basement like what he has, I'll probably do a similar kind of setup as he has. But
and I am hustling to get it done.
He is.
I can't get it done quick enough. That's the problem. But pulling wires and everything by myself, it takes longer than I expected. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm really trying to get it done, but I don't know if it'll be by then.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We've even ordered some new equipment stuff, some really nice equipment stuff that we're going to be using to do the show. We're going to be able to probably do the show together every Saturday morning instead of remotely. So it's going to be some pretty cool stuff happening on the show that we have lined up to do on here as well. And even content stuff, some really cool gameplay, some really just cool videos that we have in our head that we'll be able to do together. That'll be really cool.
For years we've had.
Yeah. And so today, probably later this evening, we'll have a video coming out on the channel that's actually a VR room tour of my current VR studio and room that I have in this house. Yeah, because I wanted to do that, one, because I'm proud of it. I've put a lot of work and a lot of stuff into this room, so I wanted to be able to show it off, as well as I just wanted to have that documentation out there for 10 years down the road. I can have a look back at, what my VR space was like here, because this is one of my favorite rooms, you know what I mean? And I use this space a lot, but it goes into in-depth of what, stuff I use and the layout of the room and stuff you haven't seen in the room before. So that'll be pretty cool. That should be out on the channel tonight. I've worked on it quite a bit this past week. I tried to have it out last night, but it didn't. I saw some things I wanted to change and fix, and so I've still been working on it, but it should be out tonight. And so Artful said a Yaw 2 side by side. That will probably happen because I don't know where. If my Yaw 2 ships soon, I don't have any place to send it right now other than Tyler's house. So we're moving with nowhere to go yet. We haven't found a place to go yet. So that will be going to Tyler's house. So that could happen. So yeah, we have a lot of ideas. We're super excited to do it.
Just getting my basement done is just stressing me out now, because now it's like every night I'm down there grinding on it, trying to get lighting up, trying to get and thinking about how this is recreating this scene back here as well.
We're going to have this scene in an actual bar, an actual bar scene like this, but it's going to be real life. It's not just going to be this image that we use that we're green screened onto. So it's going to be really exciting. So we'll even have a setup for if there are some people, like Eric, if you were in Ohio, or anybody that's in the area that wants to come join us live in the studio, we'll have a setup that we can have multiple people in the studio all at one time doing the show with us or whatever we want to do. So it's really cool. It's going to be really a lot of fun. So a lot of cool things happening that weren't planned at all. It still doesn't even really seem real to me, but now I got to deal with snow.
Chris and Chad said we should put wheels on the Yaw 2 and play bumper cars with the Yaw.
We could do that. We could do that.
I'm super happy for you guys, man. I love having friends in VR. I was telling Tyler earlier. Just having your best friend be a friend that loves VR too. It's just got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's
I'm
awesome.
Extremely lucky. I don't have like a best friend like that does VR. A lot of my friends don't care about VR. But I'm extremely lucky where I've just made friends in the community, and virtual strangers. Now I'm a part of that show, and
awesome.
Wes and Roos are like my best friends, and we just play VR constantly, and we love it. We're just like you guys. We do this because we love it,
right?
And to be able to do it and enjoy it with people that you like it makes the whole thing worth it, right? I want to go in there and just have a good time with my friends, and that's what VR is all about, man.
Totally agree. Totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, this is really. I mean, me and Tyler stayed friends through the years by playing Xbox games and Halo and stuff, and then we got into
Yep.
VR, and we're like, holy crap! Like this is like we're actually hanging out still. You know what I mean? Like we actually have memories of experiences that we've had together that seem real as a memory. You know, and we've talked about that before, and it's just really cool. So, yeah, it's really really gonna be a fun time. Gaming Science Teacher said, if you guys are in Eastern Ohio, it would be realistic to stop for a visit. Absolutely. So we will be
she's not
located.
far.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll be located in Northeast Ohio region. So yeah, if anybody's going to be close or you're planning a trip, I mean, not a lot of people come to Ohio, I don't feel like, because there's not a ton of stuff that goes on there. But hit us up. I mean, totally, we can make something happen. Join us for a show or whatever it may be. We maybe we'll even do some kind of event. We've talked about doing some kind of event there, and anybody that wants to come, would be more than welcome to. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. GST is actually pretty close. She's
Yeah,
probably
she's
an
not far.
hour and a half, probably. I used to
Probably.
live in Monroeville, so not too far from probably around where she's at. And it's, maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, we can definitely do some meetups. We've got great places to do it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I don't yet. I'll be homeless until we find an apartment or something. But
will.
but
We'll
hopefully it
have
won't take too long to
boxes-
find another
boxes of
house. But
stuff.
yeah, so
Everybody needs to meet up next week to do sheetrock in Tyler's basement. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I live
Hey,
in upstate
whatever,
New York.
yeah.
I'm not that far.
oh yeah, you're not far. I mean, you're far
That's
right
true.
now, but you're not far normally.
Yeah, no, no.
That's true.
Yeah,
We've
for
been
sure.
talking about having a meetup and stuff. We do have some places we could do that. So it might happen. It actually might happen. Now that we're close together, it's feasible. So
Yeah,
Never
it's
know.
gonna be a ton of fun. So hit us
Yep.
up if you're close to the area, and it's only gonna mean better things for us coming up, I think, as far as the show. And we wanted to make sure that the show isn't going anywhere. We missed the past
Nope.
couple shows, but that was over Christmas and New Year's, and things were just a little bit crazy. But definitely check out the VR room tour video that's coming up tonight. I'm pretty excited about that. I spent a lot of time on it. It's been really fun to do.
Okay.
So
So I have some breaking news,
Oh.
literally. When I was moving all of my stuff, right, to get it out of my basement and start studying stuff up, I have some big shelves with tons of VR stuff loaded on it, right? So I'm moving it over, and I looked, and my Elite head strap, guess what?
it broke.
Cracked.
What?
Cracked.
No way! I
And
have
not
3
from-
still that
not
haven't
anything
cracked.
I did, not from anything. It had to have been when I took it off for the Bobo M2. Had to be because it was not cracked before. So it had to have been when I popped the side straps
Yeah.
off. It must have twisted enough that cracked it. And I've never had a problem. I've used that thing since the first
Forever.
day it came
Me
out.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
I have 3
Daily.
of them. I
So-
have 2 battery straps and
Right.
1 regular Elite strap. And the 1 battery strap I used like crazy for a long time, really until the Bobo
too,
VR M2 Pro.
Yep.
That's the first one that I've actually stuck with that I've changed out to. So man, that's a bummer. Are you gonna contact
I thought
Oculus, see if
having,
they'll
like,
still
a-
send you a new one?
I don't know.
Might
I
as
mean,
well.
Do it.
I thought because
Yeah,
it was
do
like a first round of product, maybe it was a little better and they chinched then later, but it
Yeah.
sure as crap broke. So I
That's
don't know.
crazy. I'd contact them. They'll probably send you a new one. So
They
I would
probably
definitely
will.
try it out.
I know. And not that I feel like I'll go back to it, but I mean, at least I
nice
could
to
give it
have.
to somebody. But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. And
I've had
do
two-
check out
I've
the
had two
Discord. We got a lot of stuff going on in the Discord. We also have a Jupiter grad code for the Oculus Quest giveaway going on right there right now. We did a ton of giveaways. Over December, we literally gave at least 1 game code away
Game a
every
day.
single day for the whole month of December. And then past, even into January, we've done a lot of them on there. So make sure that's in the giveaway deals section. That one ends tomorrow. That's for a Jupiter grad code for the Oculus Quest. But yeah, and we got some more big giveaways and stuff planned. We just love doing giveaways. Like we like it's so much fun to be able to, like, for the Quest 2 giveaway.
Yep.
And he was so happy when he got that email that he won, and he was like, I
know.
can't even tell you how much you've made my day. And that's the stuff that we just love to be able to do. Like it's just really because we love to do it. We love to give back. People have been so generous to us, as well as our Patreon members, which if you are a Patreon, we don't
Yeah,
post
rush.
a whole lot of stuff on our Patreon, which hopefully we can start to post some more of that stuff on there. But thank you very much to all of our Patreon supporters that are on screen now. I did post 2 giveaway codes on the Patreon that I don't know if anybody's gotten yet because we barely ever post on there, so nobody ever really checks our Patreon. So if you are a Patreon supporter, make sure you go on there and check and see if those codes have been taken. Yeah, there's a couple on there, but
Yeah. Mash, what do you guys have going on over on Facebook too? Do you have any giveaway? I know you always have giveaways
Yeah,
going
you
on.
guys do
as
a ton
well.
of
You
giveaways
do the
too.
same thing. Yeah.
We do, yeah. I mean, we're like to say, I took a lot of my stuff from you guys, man. I've been watching you guys forever, and I just love giving back to the community. And we're all so lucky that we get so many games, and I just want to give back. I mean, so yeah, we try and do as much as we can over there, just like you guys do. I mean, we don't really have a lot going on right now, but we just got done with our Christmas giveaway. We did our live show. We gave about 50 games away during one of our live shows, and then in the Facebook group, we had about 20 keys that we gave away just for like a post, people put up. So it's been crazy, but yeah, you guys were the gold standard of doing that. I mean, you guys started doing that. And you guys, I know how you get the Patreon support, and you guys probably put every dime of that back into give it back to the community, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
we've
actually never used really any of the money for any personal reasons that we've made from any of the YouTube stuff or super chats or Patreon. Usually everything either goes back into making what we're doing better, with gear and stuff or giveaways or whatever it is. I mean, we just do this for fun. This isn't our jobs. Exactly. We don't do this to pay the bills or anything like that. So, we really appreciate all the support and everything. It's been overwhelming, the support that we've gotten for years now. So we really, really appreciate it. And, but yeah, make sure you check out the Facebook group, as well as your YouTube channel. You've been doing some stuff on YouTube channel, and it's called, I can't think of it now.
That's okay. Yeah. It changes all the time. It's Q2C VR Gamer.
There you go.
I
know, I can't think of it either. Yeah.
I could see the logo. I could see it, but I couldn't think of how but.
And then Virtual Strangers too, man.
They're great guys
so happy
too.
To be a part of them.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, those are guys that I've watched for a long time too, when I can, and pop in there quite often. And they're, Weston Roots, and now that you're on with them on the team and stuff, they're a great group of guys. Really, really.
I still want to jump back into After the Fall. I'm still dreaming of getting back in there with you guys too.
That game, I can't quit that game. I can't quit it. We did our end of the year show on Virtual Strangers, so we had to play a lot of games to vote on our awards. And I had to finally say, look, I can't play After the Fall anymore because I got to go. I want to finish Lone Echo 2. I needed to get back into Sniper Elite. Any game that was up for Game of the Year, I'm like, I got to go back and play some more. You know what I mean? And I just had to finally say, no more After the Fall. But now I'm going back to After the Fall.
We need to do another Contractors match with them too. We did a Virtual Strangers versus Rendered Reality Contractors match a while back, and that was a ton of fun. Yeah. We had a ton of fun with that. So,
we got two awesome communities.
Somebody just called you out, Tyler.
No.
Artful said, "Do I notice a small goatee appearing on Tyler's bottom jaw?"
It's not happening.
So wait a minute. So we had in 20.
I told you it wasn't.
What was last year? 2021? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Anyways, so last year we had a thing going on that if we hit 10,000 subs in 2021, Tyler was going to grow a beard for like a month long or whatever. We didn't hit it. We came close. We're doing pretty good, but can we still do that for 2022? Is that still on the table?
No, that's not on the table. No, you can't just ride that same train.
How about 12,000?
We were like 2,000 subs when we said that. I didn't even think it was going to happen.
How about 12,000? If we can hit 12,000 in 2022
No.
What's the number? Give me a number.
15. No, 15.
I'll start the campaign in the Facebook group.
There you go.
50,000 people over there. I'll start the Tyler Beard.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll start pushing as many people over here
as
I can just to see the beard.
So I heard him say 15,000. I heard him say 15,000. That was the number. It's on record. We can fight this in court if we have to. We heard him say it. He signed the dotted line. So that's the number.
I have the magic button over here to end the show, and I can probably delay it.
He just deletes it. Hey, my beard's coming back in a little bit. I'm not going to go as crazy as before, but I mean, my face was getting cold in the winter, and I got to move to Ohio. So I
said 50. I'm good with that. There we go.
No, 15. 15. We're going 15. We're going 15. All right, we got to get out of here though. A little bit longer show today, but we really appreciate Eric. We really appreciate you coming on here. Next year, hopefully, we can all get to CES. We didn't go this year, like we said. We were afraid it was going to get canceled. We didn't know what things were going to be like. So, unfortunately, a lot of people did pull out this year. But hopefully, let's try to make it happen next year. Maybe some other stuff this year. Maybe GDC or something. I don't know. My life's gonna be a little bit crazy for at least a month or two. But we'll figure that out. It'd be awesome to meet up and
maybe everybody can come to the RRHQ.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do our own.
I'm totally down to make that happen. We can totally do that. So, yeah.
I'm down. Anytime you guys want me, I'll be there, man.
Let's do it.
I'm not that far
away.
We
can arrange that.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for real. Awesome. Well, we very much appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate everybody watching, the super chats, everything else. Hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, and thanks, Mash. And good seeing everybody here from our channel, Facebook group, and everyone in between.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll get out of here. We'll catch you back here. See you in VR. Later. Guys.